walking in.
So will I see all the people?
Yes. Actually, I have it to where I share comments with you. So what you should see is a box with you and I on it, and then like almost like a notepad on the other side, and it should say all and post a comment next to it.
Well, I see like private chat, and then I see comments.
Yeah, if you leave the comments on, you'll see whatever comes up. The private chat is say you want to answer a question privately, but you don't want to answer it in the room. Like say somebody asks a question and you don't want to answer it to everyone, you can put, click their name and put private chat and do it that way.
Gotcha.
So hello, everyone. Say hi. This is Sgt John Peck. We call him John because he's absolutely amazing.
Ah!
Honey, don't do that. You will see. I have nicknames for a lot of these people. Hello, Miss Kelly. We have actually been promoted through a lot of people. There's Miss Tiffy. We've had a lot of people that have been sharing because Kelly actually did not realize who I was talking about until she saw. I shared it the other day. She saw the picture and was like, "Oh my God, I did not put 2 and 2 together." Who I was interviewing today. We are so thankful that everyone's able to join us today. I don't even know how to say this. I'm so grateful that your facial features. I am so thankful that you could join us today, John. To start this out, John was in Hellman, Providence, right?
Yeah.
In 2016? Or was that when you got your... I don't have my notes with me. My kid took my freaking... my kid took my notebook because he needed to write something down. You lost all 4 limbs in 2010, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then you had a bilateral upper extremity transplant. Did I get that right?
Yep. You missed one, though. You missed one.
What did I miss? Oh, you have a TBI that you got in 2009. No, you went back to in 2009. You had your TBI in 2008 or 2007. Shoot, I can't remember it. 2007.
Yep.
And the guessing game. He has been through the gamut, and he still has an amazing outlook on life. But I know you probably had plenty of pitfalls to get there. You're now you are now a motivational speaker plus several other aspects. I mean, your story is very inspirational, but I know you have had, we talked a little bit the other day that, for every bright day you also have down ones. I'm sure you had several down ones in a row in order to find one bright. But and we'll that's part of why we're here is because, we're trying to show people that, for the dark ones, you do have, you got to struggle with them. You still got to keep, fighting through them. And you're proof of that, I did want to talk to you because, I loved how you made that comment. We were talking about it before we came out here, is that you said you were really good at finding IEDs, but in the worst possible way. That is like, I was trying to wrap my head around that because that sense of humor, and mind you, I was married to a Marine, so I know that sense of humor, it's kind of that make the best with what you're given type of thing. You guys have that sick sense of humor.
No, we are twisted.
Oh, and to be married to one, you got to be kind of twisted too. It's kind of one of those hand-in-hand type of things. I wanted to ask you, one of my questions that I really was kind of, once you, I guess, kind of came out of everything and you were like, hey, this is the life I had. What was your thought process with that? Was it, okay, we're going to make the best of it?
So, with the whole, I waking up and everything after It was kind of different. It was kind of like, I mean, I was told and everything like that. And it was kind of like, I mean, there's not much that you can really do about it. It's not like you're gonna sit there like, what is that whole saying? Like, you can't sit there and cry over like spilled milk and like, yeah, it sucked. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just like, what the hell am I gonna do? Like, how do you function with that? Like, I think before like I got blown up, I told my corpsman, I was like, dude, if I lose my legs, it's not a big deal. Because it really wasn't. It's like I can just roll around in a wheelchair. It's not really that big of a deal. But it's like, dude, if I lose my arms, just like take your 9mm and just like pull it out and like pop me in the head. And the corpsman was there and he like felt like so guilty because he actually saved my life. And he's like, should I pull out my 9mm and like blow this dude's head out? And but like when I woke up, I was just like, how the hell am I gonna function? Like, how am I gonna do like the average like everyday things? Like, how am I gonna like take care of myself? And then, you know, how am I gonna like do everything that I used to do? And then on top of that, I was married to just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person, and just yeah.
The sarcasm dripping off of that, I can just see it.
So great. She was just such a sweetheart. She definitely added to the emotional damage that I incurred. She basically, there was a lot of issues that she caused, like more long-term effects to me. And that was like abandonment issues that I'm now kind of starting to discover. So at one point, her best friend told me like, hey, by the way, she tried pulling your life support plug on you because, you know, she found out about like your $450,000 like life insurance policy that all military guys have. What else? Oh, she's like, by the way, you were like dying and she was like 10 feet away from your hospital bed sexting another dude. I'm like, that's great. So, like, that's great. Like, cool. So like there was like all these issues and I didn't know about them. And then she went back to California to get like my car and all of our stuff. And I didn't have all these mental issues yet. And then she went back. I didn't talk to her for 3 weeks, or about, not 3 weeks, about a week and a half or something like that. I couldn't do anything. I mean, I couldn't even roll. I mean, this was right when I woke up. I didn't hear from her. And all of a sudden, like, I had her mom call her and I'm like, yo, what's going on? You know, what's going on? And she's like, by the way, I'm thinking about going to school here for staying in California for a semester of school. And that's when like John Peck, high on methadone, which is the med that they use to get meth heads off of, well, meth. And I'm like, something's up. Like, why the hell would you go to school for a single semester? And yeah, I started putting two to two together. And I'm like, look, if you're not here, you're not my wife. And, you know, I think that's when it started plummeting and it started going downhill. So compounding like my injury on top of failing marriage, I mean, it kind of like got to me. And that's when like my demons started to like rear their ugly little head. And like as a Marine, and then on top of that, like the whole male, like it was just like, all right, I'm just going to be, you know, I'm just going to swallow them. And I just kind of just kept swallowing my demons. And I've learned, like, I was telling this girl that I was talking to the other night, we were FaceTiming and everything. And I told her, I was like, look, it's okay to swallow your demons every once in a while. Like, I think it's actually okay to swallow them and like put them away for like a little bit. But what I've learned is like, put them away until you're into like a more stable area. And then eventually you need to deal with them. And that's what I did, is like, I got to a spot where I was eventually okay. Because at one point I was suicidal. Like, here's a dude without arms. Like, I'm just going to like throw myself down a flight of stairs. And if me rolling my happy, no arm, no leg ass down the flight of stairs doesn't kill me. I got a 355-pound wheelchair that will break my neck. And yeah, I mean, well, I'm still here. So, I mean, I didn't go through with that plan, of course. I kind of came out of my little shell and everything like that. I started to become this goofy ass. But I told her, I'm like, look, you know, you can swallow your demons and that's fine until you get to more stable like ground. And, but you do eventually have to, I say, do battle with them and everything like that, because they're going to rear their ugly head eventually. I mean, it's literally, you could have a bad day and all of a sudden that demon's going to be like, hey, remember, like, for instance, I'm not going to mention her name, but like she had sexual assault and then she had her brother, like she saw her brother die right in front of her eyes. And like, she could get in a car accident and it could just literally be the camel, like the straw that broke the camel's back. And that could be the moment. Like I told her, I was like, you need to do battle with those demons eventually.
Well, and I tell a lot of people, it's okay to put them in a box, but eventually you got to unpack it or they're going to explode out of there.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
exactly.
That box is not going to be big enough for very long.
No.
And you get to a safe place where you can safely unpack that box. And deal with them.
When I got my arm transplant before, like there was like a 50% chance. I don't think like mathematically that's proper, but like it's probably like a lower chance, like a higher chance of me like surviving and everything like that through the surgery. But like the chances like of something going wrong during the actual medical procedure and everything, I mean, you got to remember they're open like big arteries and like connecting nerves, and it's like a 16-hour surgery, and it's just like the chances of me dying through something like this. I mean, I broke down before going through it, but like I actually, there's, you know, all women know that 4-letter word that all women hate, and I refer to my second wife as that word, but I actually got in touch with her, and I'm like, hey. I actually got a hold of her and I'm like, by the way, like, I'm not going to forget what you did to me, but I forgive you. And it's like, she's like, I really appreciate that. And I hope that you can understand, like, I literally had to sign like documents to like have like, I'm missing my whole left leg. Like, I can't show you. I mean, I could show you, but I'd have to keep my pants on because I'm not going to be like Magic Mike over here. But like, I'm afraid that some of your female viewers might get like a lady boner or some of your gay. But like, I'm missing my whole left leg all the way up to my hip. So
we're going to do the first Facebook Live strip show.
Yeah. So like it's just she had to like sign documents all the way up to my, like, basically they had to go in multiple times to like keep amputating more and more and more. So I guess it was hard for her.
I'm sure.
I told her though, I still don't. That's still not a reason to do what she did. Like, it's a reason for you to go and like buy Coach and Chanel purses, but for you to be like, hey, here's a picture of my boobs, like, that's not a no.
No, not a reason to do that.
Sorry, I'm still punching that vein. I'm still waiting for it to go down.
Yes, for all the viewers, like, before everybody popped in, like, I've got this one vein that just won't go down.
Danielle, I don't know, I can't tell if it's a girl or a guy because there's both in the picture. The funny thing about this is I saw his Our Life documentary before one of our, I turned into a complete John Peck stalker after the fact, though. I did not know Josh had talked to you already. After the fact.
It just wants to say hello.
Yeah, your vein wants to just say, hi, how you doing? I actually, my secretary, which is also my sister, Christy, will tell you, I literally became a stalker because I wanted to have factual information, because I didn't want to come into our initial interview not knowing who you were. Plus, I'm a Marine Corps widow, so it was like, why do I not know any information on this dude? But I started to realize the time frame that all of this was going on, I was in battle with the Marine Corps trying to get Stephen recognized as, as an active duty death. Even though he was an active duty death, they still weren't recognizing us as a Gold Star family. So I was like, okay, that's why. I was still trying to do my own battles. And so one of the things Tiffany asked is, do you have any recommendations for people who don't know how to deal with their demons?
So, you guys can see, they think that, people with, humor, actually, we kind of mask ours, our demons and everything. But, I don't know. I kind of have this, weird way of processing information. And, a lot of little stuff, again, going back to the chick that I was talking to last night, I literally took my Samsung tablet and I purposely threw it on the ground. And she's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, I threw it on the ground for a purpose. And it's like, I just cracked the screen. She's like, why would you do that? And I was like, because it's a tablet. It can be replaced. I was like, it's not important to me. It's a tablet. It's meaningless to me. It's something small. I was like, it's monetary and it's not going to stress me out. And I was like, I don't care about it. If my cat dies or something like that, it's a cat, but but not it's my cat and everything like that. But I'm not going to sit there and stress out about the little stuff. But if I get into an accident, it's it's a little bit of stress, but still it's just more of how am I going to get around kind of thing. So I really don't sit there and stress out about the little stuff. I don't know. I have this unique way of processing more information. I really don't stress out about the smaller stuff. And I guess that's just kind of the way that it kind of just rolls off of me. I don't know.
After being put through something like that, it's more, okay, as long as I'm not losing, a family member or a friend or something, that's drastic to your going and doing, and, as long as something doesn't change in, your family makeup or your friend makeup, you're just kind of it can be replaced. But a person can't be.
Well, some people, I don't know. Some people might actually call me heartless, though, because it's what was it? Somebody was telling me the other day, for instance, somebody owes us $1,000 and stuff like that. And it's kind of hey, you owe me $1,000. I'm trying to collect on this money and everything. And I was hearing this story about this chick. I don't personally know her or anything like that, but she's in Turkey. And she won't come back to the United States because her ex-boyfriend just got married and she doesn't want to come back to New York because he's in New York. Her life is basically a garbage fire. And I'm just sitting here boo fucking who? Come back to the United States, get a fucking job. Your residency in Turkey has expired. You're staying there illegally. Come back, get a fucking job. Give me my $1,000. It's just, and I know some people might seem like I'm heartless, and it's just I don't I'm not even stressed out about the money at this time. It's just more it's just, I don't know.
It's hey, time to adult.
Huh?
It's like, hey, time to adult.
Yeah, it kind of is. I feel like I'm trying to like tell her, it's like you're kind of running away from your problems. Like it's the whole like you're not addressing the situation. You're really not. You're just kind of like you're just gonna slap a band-aid on it, and you're just kind of running away from it.
Yeah.
It's like you're not really helping. You're just gonna run away from it every time.
Now, were there times that you just like you know, felt that like you couldn't talk to your family or your friends because you felt like you were, you know, putting more of a burden on them instead, you know, so you just didn't talk?
So like everybody saw the whole documentary. So like I'm not gonna update the documentary. So like the reason why it says no relationship talk is because I'm not gonna update it, but like in the documentary, it says, what did it say? Did it say wife?
No, well, it really didn't talk. I mean, it said you had someone, but it really didn't go into specifics. It said.
Well, what
you know,
did it say Jess was?
I want to say it said girlfriend. I want to say it said girlfriend, but don't quote me on that. Because I was just like, I knew you had someone, but I wasn't sure what.
Nah, it said wife. Unless they messed it up.
Okay.
Yeah. But like, so there's times where I won't really talk to Jess because sometimes she's the cause of my stress. I'm more of a person that I don't procrastinate. And she's the opposite. Like, if you give me something to do, I will get shit done. And where it's like, I give her a bill to pay and it might be like 2 weeks later. I'm in charge of the finances. I don't really talk to my mom. And that's just because of narcissistic personalities.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
I hear you.
I have friends down in Virginia that I talk to still. So, yeah. Other than that, though, I'm basically kind of alone up here in New Jersey. But, yeah.
My friend Kelly, I love her to pieces. I met her through Snowball Express. She works with
It's on the roll of the searches.
Do what?
No, I'm reading some of the comments.
Oh yeah, I'm almost better than the FBI because I'm very thorough because I don't want to look like an idiot. She works with the Air Power Foundation. How much? What have they done? You know, what have they done to help you with? You know, help you out if you don't mind.
Whom?
Air Power Foundation. Have they done? Do you know who they are? Kelly, he is at a blank.
I think the only I think I actually wait, do they do the Skyball?
Yes, I think they do Skyball.
Then I think I went to Skyball back when Steve Luker was partnered up with them, but I don't think they've actually I'm not sure if I've actually, I mean, I met Robert Irvine, but I mean, I don't think that was I don't think I've actually done anything with the foundation though.
Okay.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Chris is like, we know a lot of Can You Just Adult already. That is so us. So we totally get that.
I mean, I know there's last time I checked, I mean, I can never say this word right. Statistic is old. I think there's 45,000 veteran organizations out there, and there's just
oh, it's mind-boggling. It really is. It's mind-boggling. Well, and it was so funny because I don't say funny. When I was trying to set up all for the 22, I did my research prior to it, and we are the only one that offers the services we offer, and only that. we don't do other things. We don't have, different things that we do. We only offer the peer-to-peer mentorships. And
Yeah.
it's like, why are we the only ones doing this? It's like, what, huh? And most of them don't offer it. And what really blew my mind is they don't offer it to active duty. And it's like, do you people not understand that those active duty guys are going to become veterans one day? The correlation here, people, help them out before they become the veteran, and we might not have a problem with them being veterans. When they reach that point.
I think Salute to the Troops might have been, I can't remember. It might have been one of the bike runs. I can't remember. See, this is the TBI issue.
Is that my problem? I thought it was always Widow Brain and CRS.
No.
I mean, I know. Well, I have a TBI also, so I always chalk it up to Widow Brain and CRS, and then people look at me and they're like, "What is CRS?" I'm like, "Put it together." Hello, people. And then of course I have to remember they're not Marines, so they don't talk crayon as well.
Yeah. They're special.
Oh, we're real special. Because I know that being, the different sides, male and female, having a TBI, have you learned different ways to cope with, because I know for me, I have to write things down. That big things that I know I may forget, but I'm going to need later. Do you tend to do that? Or, and I'm writing them down may not work for you. A lot of times I do them in my phone. Do you, do a voice note in your phone or something going, okay, I may need to remember this?
Nope.
Oh, Lord.
If it's truly important, if it's like tonight, then I just put it in the calendar. And for instance, if it's a contact, then I usually put their first name and then I will put their what they do. For instance, the guy, one of my friends that's down in Virginia, the very first time I met him, he actually was my landscaper. So his first name is Brent, and then I put Tree Guy.
Boy.
He's still Brent Tree Guy in my phone. Yeah, and it's just how I save people in my phone. For instance, I have multiple gyms, but I have Jim Realtor, Jim Hoover, which is one of my friends down in Virginia, but then I have a Jim Lawyer and stuff like that. So it's just, yeah. But if it's an actual thing, I need notes though, I mean, not to get too techie, but I have 2 graphics cards that are out for repair. So I just kind of, write my RMA. So my recovery, not my recovery, but I forgot what the acronym RMA stands for, but basically they're replacing or repairing my graphics card. But I just kind of write down the number in my phone. A TBI is a traumatic brain injury. So it can be kind of severe. It can be, so there's different levels, but for me, it's short-term, long-term memory issues, no hearing issues. Well, I just have ringing in my ear. Bright light has a tendency to fuck with my eyesight. Actually can give me a headache. Vocabulary is definitely an issue. Thankfully, I don't have to fuck with balance, but balance was definitely an issue. But then, I lost my legs, so now I don't have to worry with balance. What else? Oh, I had a tear in my frontal lobe. That was fun. That shit healed, though. That was a small tear, though.
I love that. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
And it's strange because my kids and my husband, they always make me laugh. They're like, yeah, that one's got a smooth brain. And I'm like, I just shake my head because I have a traumatic brain injury in the back of my head because it kind of went in between and just, kind of rattled between the two and then just kind of, back out. And one of my friends was like, so is that part of your brain smooth? And I'm like, no, it's jumbled.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, there's different levels though. I mean, you can have such a bad TBI that like you don't even like. Of course, like Adam Sandler's 50 First Dates, where it's like 10-second Tom, but then you can have a bad one where like you can't even put on your own shirt. It's there's so many different levels where it's just like it's bad.
Yeah, and see, people, very few people know it about me because mine when I get a migraine, it causes pressure on my TBI, and I can have a seizure where I can lose 10 minutes or I can lose 10 years of time in my, in my thought process. And it's like, then you have to reboot me and move me forward for, this day and age. And it's just like horrendous because, it's like I have to relive things and, get caught up, but you have to do it at my speed. And, it's like, sorry guys, I didn't choose this.
Yeah.
And like, it's crazy because like I had somebody, my son actually, I was talking to him after I got off the interview with you. He was like, do you think John Peck ever wishes that, he hadn't been in Helma, in that accident? And I'm like, probably at times.
So like, I don't know, man.
Do you ever wish that you hadn't had that, been there?
Oh, I don't like that question. As I get older now, it's starting to get harder to say yes, or it's starting to get harder to say no. And it's just because like I'm starting to like, as I'm starting to get older, I'm starting to think about what my life would have been. Like that alternate, like I really wish I could view into the parallel universe.
Yeah.
Like I wish I could just see what my life would have been like with like the parallel universe. Like if I didn't re-enlist, I wish I could see like where I was. And like I think I told, I was when we were chatting and on Friday and everything, like everyone's like, how do you rate success? And some people say, well, wealth or whatever, stuff like that. But like I rate, a person's success is by how well they utilize their time. Like everybody is either given, some people are given only like 2 years. Some people are given 30. Some people are given 50. Some people are given 100. But like, I mean, I wasted, 2 years of my life for traumatic brain injury recovery. And then I wasted another 2 years of therapy doing freaking quadruple amputee therapy. And then I wasted another 2 years of my life doing arm transplant therapy. And I mean, I'm missing out like basically like a bunch of other stuff in between. And I hate to say that I wasted my life, but like, it's just like, what could I have been doing instead? Or like what could I have been doing, during that time kind of thing.
Yeah.
I also miss being able to do certain things that I'm not able to do.
Yeah.
I used to work on my car a lot. I miss being able to actually get into a regular car compared to a minivan. I'm not a soccer dad. I hate this wheelchair. I want to punt it into the Hudson River. I really do. Like, I hate the wheelchair. It's just that as I get older, the question's kind of getting harder to say, no, I don't regret it. But it's just one of those things.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've had, it's one of those you wish you could see what the other side would have looked like.
Yeah.
because you don't know where you would be. You know, if you hadn't re-enlisted, you know, you could have gone to college, you could have done this, you could have done that, you know.
I mean, I could have been a chef. Like, you never know.
You know, you could be doing all these other things. And
Exactly.
I didn't want to put you on the spot, but it, you know, it kind of rattles around in there on what, you know, what you would have felt like. You know, you know, where your brain goes with that. Because, you know, we women constantly are like, what if I'd have done this? What if I hadn't done that? You know, I wonder what my life would have been like. You know, people ask me, well, what if you hadn't married a 19-year-old? I don't know. I don't know where I'd be. I would have 3 kids living in my house right now. You know? I wouldn't own 3 Xboxes. I'd probably own 1. You know?
I mean, so I don't regret the decision to re-enlist. That's not the thing. Like, I really honestly do not regret it. That's never the question. It's more of like, I kind of wish I could like peer into the parallel universe and just see what my life would have been like.
Yeah.
See like what I would be doing kind of thing. Also, I want to know where those damn aliens are. Be like, yo, you guys up there, like stem cells, inject my legs and like maybe some in like the arms and stuff. Like y'all can fucking do some interstellar travel. Like seriously, I know you're up there. We've already admitted that you guys are here.
We already know you exist.
Yeah, we already know you guys are here. Like for real.
It's like we already know you're there. Fix me.
Yeah.
I will not even complain about the anal probing. Just fix me.
The human anus can fit a whole raccoon. Just come on, just get it over with. Just I'll bend over. Just I've already taken the green weenie. Just fuck you. Just do it.
I will send you one of the little bottles in the little hand sanitizer case that you can hook here with lube in it. That way you can make it a little more comfortable for yourself.
No, I don't even need that. I already got it ready.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
That way when you go through TSA, you're good to go. Sometimes I wonder if TSA is aliens.
I'd probably actually scare them away. They'd probably kick me off their fucking ship. Like, who the fuck is this weirdo?
He's begging for it. What the hell?
They probably never come back to this goddamn planet after they met me. Like, can you guys just like fix me first before you guys come on, man.
Come on, my whole planet can't do it. Can you please?
Just at least make me like cyborg. Like, come on. And I'd bring this button.
Nut.
Put this button right here on my chest.
Oh my lord. That is so funny. Oh my god. Oh, I told my husband about the conversation we had about TSA, and he was like, oh my Jesus, Cody, you have the strange conversations with total strangers. I was like, look, I'm easy to talk to. I said that, and I have a marine brain. Hello.
So everybody's aware. I don't care. Everybody's aware when somebody in a wheelchair goes flying and goes through TSA. This is what it's like. It doesn't matter if you have a military ID or not, but this is what it's like. Hello, sir. Would you like a private room? No, I'm good. All right. I'm going to take the back of my hand. I'm going to pat you down. Okay, cool. Great. Please lift up your arms. All right, cool. Starts patting me down, right? All right. Gets down to my waistband. Literally pulls down not pulls down my pants, but he kind of like pulls out my waistband. Not enough so he can seize my family jewels and stuff, but he pulls out my waistband a little bit, right? Cool, great. Everything's good. Then he starts in my groin on my right side. P.S. My stuff hangs to the left, but He starts like in my groin, starts working his way down. I don't have a left leg. There's nothing there. Grabs my stuff and black dude just sits there and holds it. What is,
oh my
he's
God.
like this. Sir, what is this? Like, bruh. Bruh. Be like, I'm holding, sir. Like, what do you think it is, man? Like, can you let go?
It's a kielbasa, damn it.
Like,
you
want to spit on it real quick and just like, hold on real quick. I got something for you. Like, come on, like, let go, man. Like, seriously, I know, like, I wasn't blown up like that. Like, that is like, it's because the flesh-eating fungus, like, ate my whole left leg. Like, can you let go? You just...
And this is why I love Marines.
I can't.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I can't with them.
Oh, no. See, TSA, I had to go through TSA a couple of weeks, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, yesterday, to go pick up my son, because he went to camp, and yes, he's 17, but he has to go as an unaccompanied minor, because if he misses, if like there's a delay, and it's overnight, they have to take care of him, because at 17, you can't rent a hotel room. But if they're taking care of him, they have to get him a hotel room. So I have to go through TSA, and I have neuropathy that is severely bad in my right leg, and I fell and messed up my left knee. So me walking BNA for any length of time is not going to happen. So I'm waiting for a wheelchair. Finally, I'm going through TSA, and the poor lady is this big around. I mean, like, she's a stick. I get up out of the wheelchair, I go through, and she's like, "Are you okay, ma'am?" And I'm like, "I'll be fine. Can we just get the wheelchair over here before I fall?" Because not only is it raining, and I'm not supposed to be walking. The lady looks at me, and she's like, "Please don't fall." And I'm like, I'm holding on to the gas pillar in front of me. They get the wheelchair, and I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "Would you have really fallen?" And I was like, "If it had lasted 10 more seconds, you bet yes I would." And she's like, she grabs my, she's like checking me out, and I'm like, "Listen, lady, I haven't had any in a while. You grab my boobs one more damn time, we're liable to have some fun here. I'll swing both ways, sister." And my son is like, "What took you so long to get here?" And I'm like,
we had to make a pit stop.
I'm like, "Nothing." I walk out. My husband's like, "Should I ask?" And I'm like, "No. Just no." We had such a fun time at BNA. Totally can tell you all about that. No, we have to go to BNA for Snowball Express. That's where we fly out of. We love Snowball Express. I absolutely loathe going there any other time of year. Because Snowball Express, they close a whole area down for us. That's the best way to fly is a chartered flight. That's all I gotta say with that one.
I ain't fancy.
So, okay. We were talking about this the other day, because Gary's the niece, and what organization was it that you said helped with the house?
Tunnels to Towers.
What is it?
Tunnels to Towers.
What is it? A smart house for you? What do they call it?
Yeah, it was a smart house. They helped build a smart house for me in Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Okay, and I mean, does it help with that?
I don't live there anymore. So I lived there from 2012 until 2016, and then I got the arm transplant. I mean, so here's the thing: the house was great. don't get me wrong, I was very appreciative, but like both of the foundations were like in the beginning, the infancy of like their programs. First off, I was a quad, and like they were like in the beginning of their programs. So there's all these. There was not quite a few issues. There was a few hiccups. So when I got the arm transplant, the hospital that I was going to was about, without traffic, maybe an hour and a half away, and I had to be there Monday through Friday, and I wasn't driving yet. So basically, we just stayed on base, and I was there for like 4 hours a day. So just ended up selling the place. Yeah, but it was a smart house. So like I could open the front door, the back door. I could control bedroom, living room TV. The temperature had like 2 different zones. And what I mean by that, like the bedroom or the master suite had its own zone, and then the rest of the house had its own zone. It had a generator that powered like necessary areas, like the bedroom, because like my wheelchair is electric. What else? I could control the security alarm. It had like cabinets that the insides could drop down, but that was one of the issues, was that like underneath those cabinets you couldn't have anything. So that was one of the issues. There's a few other features. It had a bidet. Oh yeah, it feels great. You just got to get used to like high pressure water going in your bunghole.
Never used one. I don't think
Nah. It's, yeah, so the whole COVID thing happened, and didn't have to worry about toilet paper or butt wipes or anything.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. A
butt phone. Oh my lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great house and everything. Actually, believe it or not, I had it on the market for less than a week, and some like 14-year-old bought it with like not a trust fund, but like I think it was like a trust fund. She was in a wheelchair too. So.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that it was able to go to someone who could use it also.
Exactly. So that was pretty cool.
At least it could go to someone else who needed something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, after we left Maryland and everything, now up here in New Jersey. So
yeah.
So much fun.
Now, are you still in like physical therapy or occupational therapy or anything like that?
I do my own physical therapy. As you can see, my shoulders are starting to get a little big.
A little buffy.
A little buffy.
You turned it into a beefcake over there, huh?
I don't know about that.
A New Jersey beefcake.
I'm trying.
Yeah, because some people use working out as their outlet sometimes. I've heard several people that, especially military, that use it. What's that about? One of the things. Okay, sorry, my son stuck his head in the door, and he was like, telling me he loved me. One of the things that I did, after we talked on Friday, the misconception about PTSD. Not everyone who's military has PTSD. And believe it or not, a lot of people who are civilians do. But one of the, we were talking about it. One of the biggest things is we're trying to, you guys are trying, you're in an organization now that's trying to help that misdiagnosis, because there are a lot of people that are trying to get diagnosed with PTSD that don't have it. And then there are people that do have it that are not being diagnosed with it because they don't want to be lumped in with that group. You know.
Yeah, so like it's not an organization. So I actually became director. So not only am I a tester, I'm also a director of the Veterans Affairs Department for this new, it's kind of a newish company. It's called Aurora. So it's AURA. It's not, the app isn't for the average consumer yet. Right now it's just being sold to facilities. So we have to, I forget what they have to do. There's some like tech that they have to do, or there's a portion what they have to do, but basically it's just a single thing where it will be available to the consumer. But what this app does, first thing is like every day you sign on, you can incur points. And we've already partnered up with like people like Stevo, Bam Margera, all these like companies and like MGM. I don't know if MGM is one of them, but like all these other different companies and stuff like this. But like you incur points, and you could like, the more times you get points, you can cash them in and get like stuff from like the Brain Shop, and you can like chat with like Stevo and stuff like that, or like get a trip to Las Vegas and stuff like that. But that's not the cool part. We also have a VR portion where we will try to do like guided meditation or guided therapy. So the guided therapy is different portions where like we will try to put you like, for instance, like a boxing gym, like you just said, boxing, or like a workout gym. It can be like a relaxing area. Or for somebody like claustrophobic, we'll try to like get you to kind of like try to like guide you through like how to get rid of that phobia kind of thing. Or for instance, we'll start to add like triggers. Like for instance, if you're afraid of spiders, or like I fucking hate centipedes. I only have one physical fear, and that's centipedes, because they're all the fucking legs. Like, can't stand centipedes. They're so fucking gross.
I'm with you.
Kill it with fire. But so, I mean, then we have the VR part. And then, so the other thing is we have an app. And on this app, it has multiple parts to it. It also has a speech recognition part. So you can talk to it, and it can pick up your speech patterns. And then it also syncs to your smartwatch. So for instance, it will like detect, like, did you have a restless night? You know, what's kind of going on? And then it will pick up your heartbeat, like, all right, let's say, you know, it asks you to like, how was your day? And you say, oh, you know, I had a great busy work day at work. I met with my coworkers. But let's say, you know, you're there for alcoholism. And, you know, the app asks, did you go for drinks? And you say no. But all of a sudden your heart rate spikes. The app might be like, why did your heart rate spike when you said no? Like that might be a flag, and that flag will be sent to your mental health, or your mental health expert, or something like that. It's not a diagnostic tool as far as I understand. It's more like a helper. Like it's more of like, hey, this is something that you missed. Like this might be something that you need to look into. So I'm more of like the veteran side, and they didn't know about this. I've said, hey guys, by the way, some of these guys, like there are team members that are here in the United States, but some of them are from Serbia. We have one lady who's in Italy, and then I think that's it. But there are some here that are in the United States. I've been like, by the way, you know, we have veterans and stuff like that. And I was like, by the way, do you know, like some of these veterans are going to the VA? And I immediately flipped the switch. I'm like, by the way, you know, we have veterans that will try to say that they have PTSD. And they're like, well, why would they do that? And I flipped the switch, and I'm like, man, doc, let me fucking tell you, man, I'm starting not to, you know, sleep too much. And I'm starting to hear like starting to hear shit, and I can't sleep too well. And they're just like, well, why would you say that? And it's like, because like you don't understand, here in the United States, there's key words and things that these guys will do that there's literally a board or a forum out there that they will say and go and do at the VA. And if they can get that PTSD claim, I don't know what the percentage is. It's like 40, 30, 50%. I mean, it's more money in their pocket. But if this app can detect, like, hey, mental health expert,
he's full of shit.
This might be a lot. We might be like, do you understand like how much money that could potentially save the VA? And then we could potentially like get rid of like a lot of these cases. But with that, I also warned them, like, this could lead us to a lawsuit. And that's when they're like, this isn't a diagnostic tool, it's more of a helper. So it's like more of like a thing that we can use to kind of inform the mental health expert. So it's being used for TBI, PTSD, any kind of mental health, anything to do with mental health, but it's also being used for addiction too. Anything to do with any kind of addiction.
I think it's quite funny that, on a lot of those boards, how they portray PTSD when a lot of people don't act that way when they have PTSD.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people, they aren't that jumpy, or unless they have a reason to be.
Yeah.
They're not like that in front of a licensed counselor or whatever. They're very cool and calm and collected, unless they're in a public setting that does trigger their PTSD. And it's like I was talking to my husband. He does have PTSD because he experienced something, not even just in wartime, but in his childhood. And he's like, he said, I had somebody ask me if I actually had PTSD, and my therapist asked me about it, and he's like, and then he saw me and he noticed how I was acting, and he went, oh yeah, he has it. Because my husband, he was like, yeah, he has it, but he's very in control of it until he's triggered. And I'm like, yeah, so am I. I'm like, we don't tend to let that demon out until there's somebody that goes, flip, and then that demon comes out and says hello. And it's like, why would somebody be acting like that?
Yeah. Well, that's the one thing that we hope that we can kind of like, we hope that we can actually get into the VA, because I told him, I was like, you don't understand, like, one, it can be extremely lucrative, but also not even from the monetary side, but like there's like all these different versions that they plan on releasing. Like, it's going to be like, first off, the version that we're on right now is just regular app. Then it's more VR heavy. I mean, the final version is just like a full like hologram, like not even like, we're talking like full hologram, not using your phone. We're talking like full hologram.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, like, this is like a straight up like tech company. So I'm just like, okay, I'll help. I'm just like, I don't know much about the tech side, but I was like, I can definitely help with the veteran side. I'm like, by the way, there's all these like loopholes and shit that I don't like.
Yeah. Right.
But just like, I mean, there's a lot of things that need to be fixed. But I mean, the cool thing though is like, basically your mental health expert can go in and say, hey, John Peck has a TBI, and they can program it for your specific diagnostic, and they can tune it to you and see how you're doing. So,
and I think that there needs to be more, more things like that, because I mean, in this day and age, with the way that tech, how much tech we have. I mean, I have an Apple Watch that can tell if I'm, that notifies me when I have an irregular heart rate.
Yeah.
And all I do is wear a watch, or like if I fall down, which I'm prone to do, it calls my husband if I don't call him first. It's like, oh, by the way, she fell down. Call him. Tell him to come pick her up. you know, and if he doesn't get called, it calls EMS, you know, type thing. What in God's name are you doing?
I can't itch it. Yeah, so no, the app would be for everybody, Tiffany. It's going to be for everybody. It's just right now it's just for facilities. So it's for, I forget the act. It's like being sold just for like facilities. So when I say facilities, it's more like treatment centers and stuff like that. But like I said, they basically just need to do some kind of like remove something inside, and then they can release it to like the actual app store. So it's going to be for everybody. And then your mental health expert can say, hey, like again, John, I want you to go ahead and download this app. There's a light version. And then I don't know what the light version looks like. I need to act like I just literally just started and everything like that. So super excited. But yeah, it's going to be for everybody and everything like that. I think it's going to be great.
Amazing. It's going to be amazing. To open up, you know, once it gets opened up, it'll be helpful, you know, to a lot of people.
I mean, the one thing is, like, there was there was a video about this Amanda chick. It was on Soft Belly Productions, and she was a prostitute. And when I actually officially come on board, I'm going to release the series about this Amanda woman. And unfortunately, she's passed away. But you can see the effect that this treatment had on her, and she was addicted to. Because of her being a prostitute, she also got addicted to crack. But because of those two things, she got so bad. But then she got treatment, and because of those things, she just like the difference was night and day. But something like happened to her because of the crack and everything. It's just, I don't remember what happened.
Yeah, addiction, that kind of addiction, you know, being in that field and with that kind of addiction, it's very hard. You know, you're in a very hard slope right there.
No, I mean, I was going to go to school for like financial management, and then I was actually signed up for it. And then all of a sudden that whole documentary came out, and I was like, I literally had everything. I was literally supposed to meet with the dean of the school, and all of a sudden this tech company reached out to me like, hey, we want you to come on board and everything. And I'm like, oh, okay. And they're like, hey, so we want to pay you. And I'm like, oh. I was like, I'm supposed to go to school for financial management. They're like, well, are you really going to enjoy that? I'm like, no, I don't want to go and do. And they're like, so we want you to come on board. I'm like, well, do what? They're like, oh, it's about mental health. I'm like, okay, I'm good with that. But so,
all right.
yeah. So I'm sorry, Kelly. I saw your question before. So yeah, I do have outlets. I do not hunt, and it's not because I don't hunt. It's just because I'm right hand dominated, and I have great thumb control, but other than that, like I have pinky control-ish, but as you can see, like I don't have like singular pinky control. And what I mean by like singular is like I can't just move just my pinky, whereas thumb, it's more of like all thumb. And then, yeah, my left hand is more of like but what I do is I can't show you because my wheelchair is in the way. And what I'm looking at right now is a video game controller. So I play I play video games. And then I built a computer using 6 different graphics cards to mine Ethereum.
I built it. It's quite impressive. It's beautiful. It has already made me about $600 in the span of 6 months. So that's great. I also do real estate investments and stocks. Yes, or Friday, even though I hate them and I think they're a scummy company, I invested into Robinhood. So I'm great with stocks and real estate. What else do I do?
You know, for a Marine, you're pretty damn smart.
Believe it or not, I actually, not to blow my own horn, I actually had to get an IQ test before my arm transplant. I have above average intelligence. I'm quite proud of that one. I am quite proud of that one. Yes, Tiffany, it would be, you wouldn't be able to hide it because the voice recognition software would be able to detect, most likely would be able to detect. So the AI program is being integrated, and that's why if you have a smartwatch, it would be able to detect your voice patterns, and it would be able to, if you have a smartwatch, it'd be able to detect your heartbeat. So it's basically like wearing a lie detector.
Every day, all day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but here's the thing: would you really want to like try to trick this thing? I mean, it's literally trying to like help you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that was one of the things. Is like, because I was actually really talking. You know, I was talking about it with my husband because I was like, you know, he's a recovering alcoholic and addict, and I grew up with an addict, and I was like, you know, one of the things that I think it would be great for both of us because it would help with my mental well-being, and it would help him. And he's like, yeah. He's like, we wouldn't be able to get out of it. You know, I wouldn't be able to say I'm fine. You'd know if I was lying. I was like, exactly. I'd be able to go call your therapist and go, is he okay or is he, you know, full of shit? And he's like, exactly. I was like, and he's like, I know you say I'm fine. You're full of it. I was like, I know, because I have an I'm fine, I'm okay, and an I'm peachy. If I get to peachy, somebody better tie me down and make me talk. Because all hell is about to break loose. He was like, yep, ain't that the truth? I was like, I know, I'm stubborn.
Oh yeah.
But you know, but men are even worse. You know, when they say I'm fine, they ain't fine.
No, I told you we talked about that. We so for like I told her, by the way. So if any of you like women that are in here, I feel like I have like all women in here. I really do. Like I just see all women's names.
Yeah. Actually, Ross is in here somewhere. So there's one guy.
Uh-oh. But like, I think she just left. Uh-oh. Hello? Somebody type something. Type. Oh, there we go.
Sorry, we had a hiccup. It does this sometimes.
Ah.
No.
But like, I feel like, yeah, we typed this. By the way, so for all the women in here, like, if you have a man in your like life and everything, and they say like they're fine, they really like they're not fine. They really are not fine. That like, shut up, jarhead. Really?
Who just said that?
You did.
No, I did not say that. No, I did not say that because it would come through StreamYard and it would have said my name.
You said shut up, jarhead.
Hold on. Somebody said that. No, hold on. Because there are 3 admins on this page. So it was either Matthew, Christy, Josh. No, I'm serious.
It came from you. I have a box of crayons for you. Send me the orange crayon. I want the orange crayon.
could be Jerry. Oh, Jerry. Yes, Jerry. Okay, so he's gonna give you shit. He is the resident Marine. He's a Marine. I forgot Jerry had. Oh my gosh, yeah, he does. He has admin access because he is he's actually our first volunteer. He's gonna give you shit, and I'm surprised you just came on, Jerry. Sign in from your page, butthead.
I don't want rainbow crayons. I'm straight. Thanks. I've already taken the green weenie once. I don't want another weenie in my butt. I'm good.
Yeah.
I've already seen enough weenies in my life.
Oh, I understand that.
So ask all your questions. I know you have some. Your rainbow colored hair. Semper Gumby.
Hey, I love my hair. My hair is all rainbows and it's beautiful. Don't give me no shit. We can actually do it nowadays and it's not weird. So I of course watched. I think I watched 2 documentaries that they have on there.
God.
One is the 30-minute one that Our Life has, and then one I think it's like a 10-minute like catch up. I think it was just like it's from the hospital side, like right after you had your transplant, and it was like an update of how you were doing and how things went. Because I mean. They went into extensive, it was a 16-hour surgery, and, they were just like, it was a big deal, which I can totally understand. Because I know before you, they'd only done one, a one-arm transplant. Was that after you?
There's been one military, there's only been 3, I think I was the second military guy to receive it, and then there's been 3 I think there's been a total of 3 military guys to receive it.
Yeah,
but there's been a total of like over 80 at least.
Well, because the other one I read was there was a military guy that got it, but it was only one arm, and I kind of grazed over it in the background because I was reading something about you. The Black Rifle Company had done on you. I was reading it, and it was just like, it talked about how you had hit your low, and that, that at one point you were suicidal, and I was just like, it was here. You received a bilateral upper extremity transplant.
I have another dude's arms attached to me. I'm Dr. Frankenstein's monster.
I'm only the upper half. And it's like, did you reach that low point before the transplant or after?
The low point? Oh no, that was after I got injured.
Just after?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I did have another low point after the transplant, and that was because I always wanted to be a chef and everything like that, and I got the transplant because I thought maybe possibly I could be a chef, but not being able to hold a knife and everything kind of got to me. I can hold a knife, but not I don't have enough grip strength to actually chop a sweet potato. It's different.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of dexterity when you cut things. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, well, and I, being someone who cooks a lot, I'm not chef material, but I do pretty good in the kitchen. I understand because if my hands, because I have carpal tunnel, if my hands don't want to work, they ain't working. And I can cut grapes, but I sure the hell can't cut sweet potatoes or anything that's I can't even cut meat when my carpal tunnel's acting up. Because it's just I can't get the right grip because my fingers just don't want to cooperate.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine what it feels like for you, on some days. But I know that, you had a tremendously long stays, in the hospital that, I'm sure you were like, can you just get me the hell out of here? I'm so tired of seeing the inside of this place.
I mean, it's just like every time I've been in the hospital, an inpatient, like I was there for like almost 3 months each time. So like after my initial injury, it was like almost 3 months. And like every time I hear somebody bitch about being inpatient, it's like, I've been inpatient for a week. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Shut your fucking mouth. And it's just like, I mean, I don't want to sound like a complete douche. But it's just like you literally lose your shit being inpatient because it gets boring. But like at least when I was a quad, like I mean, I couldn't like move at first, and I mean when I say I could not move, like I literally could not move. Like I was like this. I couldn't move because like my body, like nobody stretched me out, so like my joints weren't like I did not have that much movement. So they had to stretch me, and it was extremely painful. But when I got the arm transplant, I couldn't move at all because my arms had to be like this because of the blood flow. So my arms, like I was laying back like this, and my arms were resting up like on pillows like this. And it was just because of the blood flow. So I don't know what it had. It was some like medical reason like that. So like I would have to lay there like that. So if like I had to go pee, it was just like, hey, nurse, come hold my shit and go like put it in a urinal. I gotta go take a piss. Actually, no, I had a.
Did you have a catheter?
No, I take that back. I had a catheter in. Never mind. Oh, that's right. Oh God, those were super fun days.
Oh,
Well, like it's just like I mean, you start to go crazy after being inpatient for so long, and then it starts to wear down on you after a while.
I can imagine. I mean, I think the longest I stayed in a hospital was like 4 days, and my kids were at home. Well, and like that to me felt like forever because I had gastric bypass. And it was like, I need to get home to my kids. Get me the fuck out of here. Because my husband was deployed, and I was like, I need to get home. Y'all get me the hell out of here. You take out the catheter. I'm off the meds. Let's go.
Yeah.
So, and Kelly asked, is it therapeutic for you to share your story now?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean,
I'm sure you're so used to it. It's just like it just kind of flows, doesn't it?
no. I mean, it's. I don't know. It's
funniest thing I heard from him was Friday. He says, "I don't know why people call me inspirational."
No, and then no, you were like, I still don't understand the whole fangirl shit, like the whole fanning thing. I really don't. Like, y'all need to stop.
Well,
like y'all, no. You need to stop. Your reaction when Josh told you that it was like, hey, do you want to talk to John Peck? No. Like, I'm just a normal dude. Chill the fuck out. I stepped on an IED.
Normal dude.
Okay, stop. I stepped on an IED. It's not that fucking big of a deal. Like, who fucking cares? I stepped on another IED. I'm some jackass who can find them. Good for me. I'm an idiot. For some God's reason, I'm still alive. For some stupid reason, they decided to write a book about me. Like, shit.
I think that's why I was so, like, why I find you so inspirational is because even after all you've been through, you're still you're real, but you're like, you don't let it get you down. You know, like you said, you get down and then you get back up. And, like, there are so many people that I've seen that they're like, this fucking sucks. And that's where they stay. But you didn't. You know, you jumped back up and went, okay, let's do this. You know, and that is very inspirational to see someone, especially, you know, who has every right, who would have every, oh my God. Are you doing a mohawk? Who is so just like, I am a regular dude. Okay, so what? It's actually a look. You know, but you're just so, I'm a regular dude, just treat me like that. And that's what I see now. The more, you know, the more I've talked to you, the more, like, you're a normal guy. Like, I want to give you shit just like I want to give my kids shit, you know? Because you're, you know, that's just how you are. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, it's just, no, I mean, it really is. It's just like, sorry, I'm picking up whoever else the admin is. Like, it's just, I'm completely normal. I wouldn't say, I really definitely wouldn't say normal by any means, as you can clearly tell. Yep, that's my armpit. I would not call myself normal whatsoever, but like, I'm like, people.
Were you
like,
normal before?
No. Why is somebody saying screw you?
She thought it was a screwdriver.
Oh, but like I was, but like, yeah, but like I don't know. I mean I was definitely not this weird whatsoever, but like I think I became this person that I am now because of this. It definitely gave me a way to approach this situation.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I could be this way without this injury. Because if I said some of the shit that I said back in my normal form, I think some people would probably just be like, this dude's a fucking
ass.
Yeah. No, seriously. I mean, I'd probably get like a lot of sexual assault cases filed against me. Like there have been times where I'd go up to like a random person, just be like, boop, be like, oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am. Yeah, these hands don't belong to me. They're somebody else's, and sometimes they have a mind of their own. Have you ever watched Idle Hands? Yeah, it's kind of that situation. Yeah.
Sorry, but I would so do that shit. That'd be funny.
Yeah. Sometimes it works.
Sometimes it doesn't, I'm sure.
Sometimes it doesn't. And then I just show them a picture of me without hands and arms and without arms, and be like, yeah, this was 5 years ago, and well, you see me without legs. Yeah, you see me with arms now.
They're actually mine.
Yeah, they're actually mine. Well, kind of.
They are now, but
yeah, kind of.
You're like, no, I'm a chameleon. I grew them back.
Either I'll show them the article, be like, yeah, so see, I wasn't telling you a lie.
Oh no,
Somebody else.
My favorite one was I was reading an article, and one of my friend's kids, because I was doing like a screen share with her as I was reading it, and her son was like, is he like a worm and he just grew his arms back? And I was like,
seriously, like if I could do that, you really think that I wish I could just grow back my arms? And this is all the function I got?
I'm like, no, honey, they put him back on there. And he's like, are they his? I'm like, well, they are now. And he went, oh, okay.
They're gently used.
Oh, when you turn 90, you can definitely get away with it then. Because then you're a crazy old man with somebody else's arms. With somebody else's hands.
Oh. I don't know. Well, my arms are already younger than me, so.
Now, have you been in contact with your donor family? Were you allowed to have contact with them?
So they were actually going to remain anonymous until I did the press release. So the whole military tradition of like keeping the an empty chair. So the whole like empty chair and everything. But I had to do like some training with the stupid PR person from Brigham. And she's like, John, you need to have more feeling when you do this. I'm like, you got to understand the way I am. I don't fake things. Like, I'm not good at faking feelings. Like, it's either I can't fake. I would never be a good actor. So it's like, I am the way I am. And it's like, I don't have like a two-face. Like, in order to make myself cry, I literally have to think about something that's actually sad. Like, I can make myself cry, but it's like I'm actually thinking about like my service dog dying. And so in my head, I'm thinking about something like that sad.
Yeah.
But she was like, during like all of this training, she's like, so you can't swear, you can't do this. And she's like, please say your speech for me. I'm like, okay, blah, blah, blah. She's like, where's your emotion? I'm like, I don't have emotion right now because you're making me say this speech to you. She's like, well, you need to say it. And I'm like, I don't have emotion now because it's not for real. And she's like,
when I'm in front of everyone, I might have emotion.
Exactly. She's like, well, can you try? I'm like, no. And it's just like, okay, well, we're going to keep doing this. And I was like, okay. And
I'm getting
like, we did it like 3 times. And Jess was like, same thing. She's like, he doesn't have emotion. She was like, you got to understand, this is how he is. Like, he's like, this is where the whole like heartless thing comes off. It's like, he doesn't have emotion. He's a very logical, realistic person. Like, he may come off heartless, but he's logical. If you give him a reason to be emotional, he'll be emotional, but he's a very logical person. And it's just, I didn't even cry when like my like great grandfather died. And I mean, I think I broke down for like a minute when my great aunt died, but I think I broke down like for 5 minutes when my service dog died. Like, do you see the like correspondence? Like,
well, and it depends on how long you knew him too. You know, your service dog was there to save your life at times, I'm sure.
Yeah, like it was just like service dog, great aunt. It's just like,
and
but,
you know, that's something you have to do. Is you have to be true to yourself and the way you feel.
Yeah. So like the donor's family, they saw like my press release and they're like, hey, by the way, you know, they sent me a message on Facebook and they're like, you know, we wanted to stay anonymous, but after seeing your press release, like, we saw what you said, and, you know, I just got to tell you a story about my son, Chris. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, you know, I just want to let you know about my son, Chris, because you see, you have his arms. I'm like, excuse me? And Chris was a special needs kid. So he had some kind of rare, very rare brain or something wrong with his brain. I can't remember it. But there were secondary effects where it's like high functioning autism. I can't remember his streaks, if it was strokes or seizures. He was like really blind. But by the age of 5, he could play Beethoven on the piano. 7, he could play Aerosmith on the guitar. He could remember the maps to the bus stops. He would give like the shirt off his back if anybody wanted it. Freaking like great kid. Anyway, the day he died, his mom and dad moved away to like New Mexico, and like he was living at like a long-term like living facility. And the day that he died, he was like, hey, he told his aide, he's like, I'm not feeling well. He went to go lay down. And like, this is scary. Like, this is scary. But like, a brain aneurysm exploded in his head. I'm just like,
oh my.
That's just scary because like I have headaches and I'm just like, I'm gonna have like one of these, like, I'm not feeling well, and next thing I know,
You better get that shit checked out.
I have constant headaches though. But I'm on a med to help prevent them now.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's, one of the things, are you on medication to help you from rejection?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, so tomorrow, tomorrow I gotta go and get so tomorrow I have a port right below. You can't see that scar, but right below that one. Is it one? Yeah, right below that one dice, there's a scar right there. Mm. There's a port in my chest that I have to go and get an infusion medication in.
Oh, okay. Now you just have to get it once, every 28 days is what you said?
Yep, every 28 days I get a medication, and then every day I take pills and everything. So I take an antiviral, I take an antifungus because I had thrush. No, you want to see something funny? None of the women are allowed to get turned on by this. But hold on. I have thrush.
Oh my.
I had the thrush ate a part of my tongue.
Now, are you more susceptible to that because of the aspergillus?
Yeah.
Okay, now for everyone, because you guys are probably going, what is aspergillus? You got a fungus after your a flesh-eating fungus after you lost all your limbs, and they don't. He has his skin sensitive to the touch, and they don't know whether it's from the aspergillus or from something else. But one of the side effects could be from the aspergillus, could be that. Correct?
Correct.
Hey, I told you, I learned something on when we talked. And yes, he is not afraid to speak up and go, no, you're done. No. You're killing me, Smalls. Stop it.
Yeah.
Because, like, when you found out about the, did they know where you picked up the fungus, whether it was, from over there or whether you got it in the hospital?
No, I just got in the soil, the blood, or it got into my bloodstream from their soil.
Oh, okay. Well, so it was from over there somewhere.
Yeah, from somewhere.
Yeah, okay. Because, I was like, because I was thinking about it and I was like, my God, where did you pick that up from? Because I was like, now I was like going, okay, do I need to sanitize my body before my next surgery?
No, you're fine.
Because, and that's a real, especially in this day and age, when you've got COVID happening, those kind of things, you think, oh my God, do I need to coat myself in, sanitation before I go in for
you have an immune system. You're fine.
Well, and I'm sure your immune system was kind of going, no, I'm gone, peace out, at that point too.
Oh, yeah.
But I was just like, I was reading, all of the stuff, because I was just like, you can ask my sister, she was like, I know, you don't seem stupid. I was like, yeah, I know. Now, did you have, because I noticed in one of your videos, you had it almost looked like eczema on your it looked like eczema. Were you trying to, how do they call it, reject your arm?
Nah, so they still don't. It's not, it looked like eczema, but it was like, I don't know how to explain it. So it looked like eczema on the surface, but underneath the microscope, it's rejection. So, and the only way to treat eczema is by steroids. So when the documentary was filmed, that's why my face got so
Ah, gotcha.
So like that's why like you can see like I have like trimmed down like this, like that's why I'm like back to like myself. Like
Okay.
now I'm more like trimmed down and like yeah, because I was like on high doses of steroids constantly.
Yeah, because like you could see, you know what, like you were like, oh my god.
Yeah,
And then
I was getting like
I was like,
I was getting high doses of steroids. Like I was just getting, I think I was getting like 300 milligrams. I mean, almost like once a month or something like that. And I mean, right now I'm on like 5 milligrams every day, which is, I mean, that's nothing compared to what I was on before.
now will you have to take those for the rest of your life?
Yeah. I mean, but 5 milligrams though, that's really nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm going to probably retain a little bit of water, but to be honest, right now, I just weighed myself. I mean, you got to remember though, I'm missing like my whole left leg, and then my right leg is like amputated like right above the knee. So like, don't compare my weight to anybody else's, but like I'm 127.2 or 0.4. And like, yeah, like don't compare my weight to anybody else's, but like I'm actually trying to put on more muscle mass now because like I actually need to put on more. My dietitian was like, so you need to eat more carbs. And I'm like, what am I going to eat for dinner tonight? Which I have cold pizza, by the way, now.
You have cold pizza?
Yeah, because like they were supposed to come here at 5:20, and I'm like, okay, perfect amount of time. I'm like, perfect amount of time. 5:45. Yeah, hi, I'm here. I'm like, you motherfucker.
Oh
So
man.
I ate one slice just before I popped on. I'm like, wait, do I have any red sauce on my face? I'm like, let me just grab this blanket real quick. I'm like, nope, I'm good.
Hey, cold pizza is awesome though.
Oh no, I know it was so good. It was so good. The New York pizza.
Oh man. Well, and it's just crazy because I was telling my husband, I said, are we doing late dinner? Because usually we eat about 9 o'clock around here, and he's like, yeah, we'll eat late.
Ew.
Well,
That is
it's
so
only during the
bad.
summer.
So bad.
It's only during the summer. We only do it during the summer because it's, you know, it gets too hot to really cook during the day to here. And so we do dinner, you know, kind of like a lunch because my husband and my kids don't go to bed till like 2, 3 in the morning anyways.
What the fuck?
And so, because it's so hot, doing anything during the day here is just like, no, can't do it. So if we have to adult, we get up, you know, we do it 2 in the afternoon instead of getting up way, way early. And so it's like, I'm sitting there and they want me to make cinnamon roll waffles for them for dinner tonight. And I'm like, all right, it's going to have to be after my interview. They're like, okay. I was like, so if you got the munchies now, you best eat now, you know, munchies now, because at 9 o'clock it's dinner. They're like, okay.
Okay.
Of course, then they're like, we get bacon and eggs too, right? And I'm like, well,
Damn.
breakfast for dinner wouldn't be complete without bacon and eggs, would it?
Oh, damn.
I am a true Midwestern/Southern mama.
Apparently.
I mean, you know, plus I'm kind of spoiling my son so he realizes when he goes to college what he's gonna miss.
Listen, if you didn't teach your son on how to cook, though, I'm gonna be ashamed. I swear to God, if he's like one of these new generation kids that don't know how to freaking open up a can, I'm just gonna shove a boot up so far up his ass.
Oh no! He looked at me and he says, "Mom, can I have like, you know, one of those little like burners, you know, little standalone burner?" And
Just
I
be
was
careful.
like, no,
Some dorms won't allow them.
they don't. And he was like, "Damn it!" I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Cause then I can make me like, you know, stir fry or something."
No.
And I was like, "Nope, you can't have it." And he's like, "Can I at least have a microwave?" And I was like, "That's about all you can have."
Oh, you can have a microwave.
He can have a microwave, a fridge, and a crock pot.
A crock pot?
Because nowadays the crock pots have that safety on them that they shut off.
Oh, get him one of the Ninja crock pots. You can actually use it as a if you get one of the Ninja crock pots, you can actually use it as a stovetop setting.
Well, and he wants it to make rice in. I was like, okay, because he doesn't like to make rice in the microwave because it doesn't come out right. And I was like, okay, because you can actually, the one that I got him, you can actually almost get it to boil. The crock pot to boil, and then you put it in the minute rice, and like with whatever chicken or whatever you've already had in the crock pot, throw the rice in, and ta-da, you've got a meal. He was like, I'm so glad my mom taught me how to cook. I was like, he also can make like a peach cobbler in it, and all that stuff. I was like, you're going to be so spoiled, child.
No.
I also taught him how to, use the Walmart app because he's not going to have a car. My son does not have his driver's license because he is terrified of other drivers. Because when he first was going to get his driver's license, someone almost hit him. And he has PTSD from car accident. Somebody hit his side of the car, and the door came in towards him, and he was scared shitless. Still is, and I'm like, dude, you've got to get a driver's license. I am not driving you all over Content Creation forever. But I figure, first year of college, he'll want it by next summer.
Probably.
But he's a good kid. And I wanted to thank you. I think we're going to call it a night tonight. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming on. You have been amazing. You made me laugh. I'm no longer going to cyber stalk you. You are absolutely amazing. Maybe we can get you on at a later date and have another chit chat, and we can talk about some more of the tech that you were talking about once you get it all figured out.
Sounds good to me.
But thank you for coming on. We truly appreciate it. You're absolute delight. You're funnier than hell. And I love how, you were so open with us. You are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. And everyone else, remember you are glitter. And to smile because you may be the only smile someone sees. Peace out and love to everyone.